Rundown on some formatting for your papers. I'm going to kind of look at APA first, and then we'll get to Turabian momentarily. So depending on your citation style, the format of your major, you want to like dial into one of these and then close your ears for the other. So I'm going to look at APA 7 first. And I have here kind of a sample paper that I pulled from OWL Purdue, which is a really great resource especially for specific examples. If you're like, how do I cite from a dictionary versus, if I have an article that has multiple authors, how do I do that? So when you have specific instances, OWL Purdue is a great resource for you to be able to check on how to do those specific things. So right here, I've got a cover page for APA. This has comments in it, so it's not exactly what yours will look like. It won't obviously have these comments here. But typically, this is what your cover page is going to look like. You're going to have a numbered page here at the top. You're going to insert a number there in the header. You can do that by double-clicking this margin up here to access it. And then there will be a button that you'll click on that says Insert Page Number. So you'll insert that there, and it will number all your pages for you automatically so that you don't have to do that manually. So then you'll see about a third of the way down the page, you're going to have your title. It's going to be in bold. You will have your author's names here, or the author's name. So that would be your name of this paper. The department, the university, the name of the class, the professor name, which would be me, and the date that the paper is due. And so this will be kind of starting about a third of the way down the page. So this will kind of take up like sort of that middle section of your header. Here I've got the body of the paper. This one looks like it does have some headers. Let's see. Yeah, it has a few different sections. You can use this method. You don't have to use it, but sometimes people use subheaders to kind of delegate different areas of their paper, different aspects of their paper. This is probably not something that you'll use in this class, but it is possible for you to use in APA. I'm going to skip down now to the reference page, which is quite a ways down here. Where are we now? There we go. So your reference page is going to look exactly like this. You're going to have references is going to be the title of your reference page. It's going to be centered and in bold. Okay. Now your actual references that you're going to list below are going to be in alphabetical order. You'll note here they're going to be the author's last name, comma, first initial, period. In this particular case, there's multiple authors, so you can see how that was done. And then, as we've talked about before, there's always going to be the publish year immediately following the authors. If you'll remember with APA, the author and the year are always married to each other. So that goes in parentheses with a period afterward. One thing that's unique to APA is the title of journal articles are always decapitalized. You'll note that the first word is capitalized, and the first word after this colon, like kind of the subtitle, is capitalized. But you'll notice that minute, teacher evaluations, all of this is not capitalized. That's something that is unique to APA. Might look a little funny at first to get used to, but that is the citation style. And then when it comes to the actual journal title, you'll see that that is capitalized. You'll note, let me see if I see an example here. If there is a book, let's see. Is there an example of a book here? I don't see one. If there is a book, the book is always capitalized. So this really just applies to journal titles and not to book titles, okay? So that's just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. You're going to use what's called a hanging indent to move these second lines over. So this first line kind of sticks out. as you can see, and then these lines here are indented a 1/2 inch over. In your Word document, you can click on ruler and it will show you the margins. You can then select what you want to move and then click and drag the margin over to a line exactly 1/2 inch over. And that is how you adjust a hanging indent. So your reference page is going to look exactly like this. If you have any questions on specific examples, I want you to check out OWL Purdue. Let me see if I can pull it up now so I can show you the website. OWL like the bird. Okay, it's owl.purdue.edu. This is a fantastic resource. So when you go to this website, you're going to go to Purdue OWL. And then you'll see you've got a lot of options here on the right. Let's see. Under Research and Citation here on the left, you're going to go with, if you're an APA student, you're going to go with APA Style 7th edition. That's the most recent edition. And then if you are Turabian, you're going to use Chicago style. Chicago is Turabian. They are the same thing. So if you click on this, you can get a brief introduction to the citation style, an overview and workshop. Okay, and then really what you're getting at is the formatting and style guide. So if you click on that, you'll see you've got tons of options here, okay? Reference list, how do I do electronic sources? That would be like web pages, etc., or web articles. Books, how do I cite from articles and periodicals, or other? So if there's like maybe the Bible or the dictionary or something like that, you'll be able to check these for specific examples, and it's going to show you. If I click on one, it will show you exactly what it will look like. Basic format for books. This kind of gives you like a rough format, and then it'll give you a few specific examples that are kind of like unique. So if there's a translation, if it's an edition that's other than the first edition, how you cite that, an article or a chapter in an edited book, etc., multi-volume book. So if that's like a encyclopedia or something like that, that is what you will look at, and it's going to give you an exact example that's going to be really helpful for you. So let's go back now. This is APA, and so hopefully that just gives you a brief overview, and as you have questions about that, you check OWL Purdue. So I'm going to put that in your hands to do a little sleuthing, and honestly, some of this is going to feel a little tedious at first because there are a lot of little rules to follow. But the more you write and the more you cite in this style, the more it's going to become secondhand. And by the time you're a senior in college, you're going to know this style by the back of your hand, okay? So let's look at Turabian. I'm going to zoom out a little here. So this is the title page for Turabian. You're going to have your title about a third of the way down the page. And then at the bottom, you'll have your name, the name of the class, and then the date that it is due. Okay, so that is going to be your cover page. You will do your numbering starting on the second page, whereas APA started on the first page, including that page. Then you will, here, let's skip down. Okay, we'll skip over to the reference page. That's really what we're getting at. Oh, there we go. Okay. So here's your reference page. You'll notice on this page, these references are not double spaced. They are double spaced between them, but you'll see that these lines are not double spaced. So that is different from APA. You'll also notice, again, I'm using the author date style here. There is the notes bibliography style, but I believe most students that I spoke with wanted to use the author date style. If you do want to go with notes bibliography, please reach out to me and I can give you some specifics for that style as well, because this actually would then say bibliography instead. But if you go with author date, you're going to write references just like APA does. You'll note, again, also alphabetized, also using a hanging indent. You will spell out the first name of your author instead of doing just an initial like APA does. You'll spell out the name of your author. You're going to put the date next to the author. This is an update. It used to be that the date went at the end. So this is a change here. So you're going to put your date here, no parentheses. And then you will, again, italicize book titles, journal titles. Those will be italicized. They should be capitalized. And then you've got, again, the publisher here. If you do have a linked article, something that's coming from a digital database, you'll put the link or the DOI number at the end, if you have that. Oops. Let's see, if you're citing an article, so example, or a section maybe like from the Foucault Reader, Panopticism, this is put in quotation marks. Again, if you have a title of an article or a title of a title of a journal or a title of a book or a drama, something like that, you will italicize it. If it is the title of an article, you will put it in quotation marks. So hopefully that is helpful to you. That is pretty much it for that. I think those are the main ways that they differ. Again, this is indented a half an inch over. You can do that by clicking on the ruler in Word and then clicking and dragging that line over half an inch. So that just gives you a basic example of a reference page. I will send over to everyone an example or a template that you can take a look at as you're kind of working on your references, and that will hopefully be helpful to you. So please feel free, if you have any questions, please reach out. If you have specific questions about certain instances and you don't see an answer on OWL Purdue, feel free to let me know. But most examples are going to be listed there, and so most times I will direct you there to kind of do a little sleuthing and kind of gather some clues. So thank you. Hopefully this is helpful to you, and that's it.